Hey everyone, my name is Kathy Croney from Broken Roads, and I'm here today for Amy Howard at Home to show you a transformation on this cabinet. It's a little bit different this time. We're going to use just a few simple processes to really change this out from what it was into a really nice, modern, clean, sharp look. And so I'm going to use Amy's 1 Hour Miracle Paint today in Cherbourg. It's a beautiful deep green color. You can see this right here. I can't wait to see this on this piece. And then for the hardware, even though I do like some of the antique hardware that's on this piece, I'm going to save them for a later project. On this particular piece, I have decided to use these bars. It looks like this. It's like an antique gold color. And the really cool thing about them is, and this is a great thing to know, I guess if you're having trouble finding hardware for your pieces, is when you get a drawer or a door where the width of the center to center is hard to find, you can buy these pieces like this with the screws and the nuts and bolts on them, and all you have to do is just slide them into this piece and then move them where you want them to go on your actual furniture, so that if you have a 2 or a 3 or a weird 3 1/4 inch or even a 5 or 6, something like that, whatever it is, this one goes up to 8 1/2 inches width. So that's really nice. I could do a small one, I could do all the way up to a large one. So these will center on the drawers down here. Show you these drawers right down in here, and then I will actually use this again, like I said, on another piece, the old hardware. So we'll get started on this. I'm excited to see how it's going to turn out. Let's go. Always, always, always clean your piece properly before you apply any products to it. You want to make sure that all the grease, dirt, oils, waxes, anything that could have adhered to your piece over the years is removed, so that when you actually apply your paint or other products, it sticks very, very well and will last you a long time to come. So I use clean slate. The most wonderful thing about it is that you don't have to rinse it off after you apply it. You don't have to re-wipe it after you apply it unless it's just super dirty and you have to do a couple of different runs over it. But what I do is just take a clean, dry, lint-free rag, usually one that has a little bit of a texture to it, so that I can kind of scrub around on this a little. And then just pour onto my towel, 1, 2, 3, about 3 seconds or so is what I like to do. Get it saturated, and then just start running it over the piece. And then you want to turn it a little bit each time you go through, just so that you're not reapplying all of the, the stuff that you've moved off of it. So this is just to take it off, just like this. We're going to go over this whole piece. I'm going to remove this hardware too as well in here just a little bit and smooth over those edges, so that you can't see them in the future. We're going to just go over this whole piece with a clean slate, make sure it's all nice and ready for the paint, and then we'll get started with the Miracle Paint. Our piece is clean now. Clean slate has been applied to the entire piece, and it's dried about 10 minutes, and now we're ready to go with the paint. So just a couple things before we get started. I want to show you the brushes that I'm going to use today. One of them is Amy's Wedge Brush. It's a 2-inch brush. It has nylon bristles. It's extremely soft. These bristles are really, really soft, and it's going to work very well with the Miracle Paint. The other 2 brushes that I have are Amy's Artist Brush, and it has a small bristle section right here, but it's very fine and soft. It holds a lot of paint, and it has excellent control. So I encourage you to get one of these if you don't have them already, because they're really, really useful. I'm going to use that in the small spaces wherever I need to. And then I also have this brush right here, which is her 1 1/2 inch chip brush. This brush is just kind of for in between areas if there's something that this one is just a little too big for, and an artist brush isn't enough. So we'll get started with this. And the other thing I want to tell you is that when you do a drawer like this that doesn't have edges, it's flush on the sides and it fits into the hole, I have found, just for me personally, that it's much easier to paint everything with it closed. And then after it's completely dry and I've got my second coat on, I will go back through here and then just touch this up with, for example, the artist brush, just along the areas that need the paint to make this feel more finished all over on the drawers and doors. So we will get started. Here goes the Cherbourg paint. Y'all, I am loving this green. I've decided to apply the paint to the top of this piece with a dense foam roller from a maker's studio, which is Amy Howard's sister company. Once you apply the paint with the roller, you'll let it dry and then do a second coat. On larger surfaces like this, it does give a much cleaner look, so that's why I prefer to use the roller on the top. As I previously mentioned, I'm adding paint in thin layers to the drawers and doors of this piece. It gives it a nice, clean, finished look without adding too much bulk, since these are all moving parts that set inside the main piece. Here's our finished piece in Cherbourg green and the Miracle paint. Now just remember, if you want to really upscale a vintage piece and make it have a more modern flair, just keep it simple. Just a solid color that's sort of bright and vibrant really works well. With a super linear modern handle, this will do it every time. It's very versatile, it adds a pop of color to a home, and it also really is a simple process. So just remember that when you do this, you don't need to do a lot of waxes or accenting. Those are things that probably a lot of people are looking at this video right now thinking, I would have done some mica powders on these doors and drawers, really accented some of these features. But with the modern side, the modern edge, you want to keep it clean and simple. So I'm going to skip that for this particular piece. In fact, I am so partial to it, I don't think I can sell it. I love this so much. Now, if you watched this video today and you've enjoyed it, please tag 3 friends and you will have your name in for a drawing to win Miracle Paint and Cherbourg Green. Thank you so much again for watching today. Y'all have a great week.